As far as word changes that I've made that I genuinely hope get adopted and that I think would be improvements, I think this next one that I'm going to make today would probably be pretty low on that list. The reason being, what I'm about to change, it's kind of a new first for Wiplish lessons yet again. I'm going to be making into a Coflow change, really. It's not really a word change so much as something that you do when you interact with people, and it's supposed to be a customs thing and something that you do within a community. And since we are changing English, it's really kind of supposed to be meant as an adjustment to the English into a Coflow. However, with this change, it will be compelling you to say something to strangers, which is something I traditionally try to avoid and have no interest in most scenarios. Unless I'm genuinely going to sit down and have a conversation with you, I don't want to make small talk, I don't want to mention you, I don't want to really acknowledge you all that much, except for maybe a slight pleasantry like holding the door open or something like that. I don't need to talk about weather or whatever. But what I'm about to introduce, I think, is just kind of a nice customary tradition that can be added into a basic human ritual. While kind of introducing this dialogue, it also just doesn't really open the door for much follow-up. So yeah, maybe you're saying an additional sentence to a stranger, but it's not asking for all much more than that. The thing that might make people uncomfortable about this change is the setting. And the setting is what makes this phrase so phenomenal and clever, but also really awkward. So let me set the scene. You're a male in this, which most of my viewers are anyway. You walk over to the urinal and start going to the bathroom. Another member of the male species goes to the urinal next to you and begins to go to the bathroom as well. What do you say in this scenario? Usually it's just kind of awkward staring forward like this. Occasionally some like small talk or just awkward one-liners or something will be exchanged, but you're just both kind of standing there hoping to get this process over with. And so the custom that I'd like to introduce, just to kind of get rid of this like kind of elephant in the room that you're sitting there with your peens out next to each other, is just a nice friendly greeting that can be returned very easily. And we're actually kind of stealing from Christianity for this one of all things. Like, there's not a whole lot that I'm loving with what they do, but they've got some good phrases, man. And what we're going to be ripping from them and making our own is the phrase, peace be with you. So naturally that is typically peace be with you is what churchgoers would say, and then it's always followed by the other person it was said to with a and also with you. I've always loved that exchange growing up as a Christian, and I always felt it was just kind of warm and friendly and just nice quick little interaction, and then you can both move on with your day while still having just some pleasantries. It's just respectful. If you don't really know what to say, you can just whip out one of those and then dip out, and it just works well. So I feel like this is a good bathroom phrase, especially because we can just sub peace with P and then an S at the end just to make it sound smooth. Peace be with you. And then the fellow person at the urinal can just answer with the custom and also with you. And I think this will, I don't really know. I don't know if it would be a great change. It's an idea. I figured I would just share the idea because I thought it was funny when I thought of it. And I don't really know if I would want it to actually be popular. Probably not. I don't think this would ever gain any traction, but I think it's a funny thing to think about and wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I don't know. I think there's a lot of these Christian phrases that are like subtly kind of badass or cool, just like kind of the call to response between like the congregation and the pastor or something like that. I think some of that stuff can be kind of cool, but religion as a whole, I don't get behind too much personally, but it's probably pretty unnecessary to dive into that much for this video. Anyway, that is the first into a Coflow change in these Wiplish lessons. Let me know how you feel about this whole process in the comments. As far as the comment from yesterday, I was happy to see my old viewer DMK pop up. However, I wish he would have been here under better circumstances because he left a trash comment. I mean, homie says, this one was too far. I love the word that is now known as virufunas, kind of despicable that he would even throw that old word back into one of my comments on my channel. Then says, might have to unsub. Good song though, and he is referring to Unfuckwittable by Kid Cudi, which was the song of the day for that video. But DMK, I gotta say, I don't think that my change was too far, and I don't think it's all that unfair either. Sure, the end of the word is nas for nasty, but the rest of the word is basically just stating facts. Virus and fungus, that is just genuinely really what mushrooms basically are. But like, I'm just calling it how it is. It's like this fungus food, which is just disgusting. I mean, appealing to some people, and you are a European, so maybe that's what's really driving you nuts over there. You guys aren't used to good food. Because I don't recall Europe being the birthplace of McDonald's, or Taco Bell, or Jack in the Box. So you must have no decent food opinions whatsoever. Anyway, it's all jokes, it's all love. However, we are gonna give you a demon number for your score due to your association with Virufunas. For that comment, DMK, we're giving you a 6.66 out of 24. Moving on to the song of the day. The song of the day is Vermilion Part 2 by Slipknot. This is one of their softer yet also sadder songs, dealing kind of with bitterness, loneliness, and grief. Then for the video of the day, I figured I'm making kind of an adjustment of a Christian saying, so I have kind of a Christian-themed song by Bo Burnham. It is very anti-Christian, we will say that up front right now, but tremendously clever, and I don't think there's a whole lot that he says that's off base, but it isn't something that's like on Spotify, so I kind of just have it as the video of the day instead, especially because I think it's appropriate for this change. And that's gonna do it for the day. Peace out.